They say love makes you blind, but sometimes it just makes you strategic. This story isn't about fairy tales. It's about love, betrayal, and one woman who turned heartbreak into the smartest revenge you'll ever hear. You know, some stories, they just hit different. You hear about them and you have to wonder, how did they even get here? This isn't a romance, it's a warning. Because sometimes the person you'd take a bullet for ends up behind the trigger. This all starts with a couple named Liam and Maya, and for a long time their story was beautiful. Real meant-to-be kind of energy. They met in college. Two dreamers with big plans and bigger hearts. They went on adventures, built a life together, and for 7 years they were the kind of couple everyone envied. The ones people looked at and said, yeah, they're gonna make it. But there was one thing missing. One dream they couldn't seem to catch a baby. Maya tried everything. Ovulation tracking, fertility treatments, doctor's visits that drained their wallets and their hope. Every negative test was like a punch to the soul. She'd smile through the pain, pretending it didn't matter, but it did. Deep down, she felt like she was failing the man she loved. And Liam? He said all the right things. It's okay, babe, we'll figure it out. But his eyes told another story. A quiet disappointment he never said out loud. After 7 long years, they decided to get married. A fresh start. A promise that their love would be enough. Baby or no baby. Everything felt right again until the day Liam dropped the bombshell. A week before the wedding, Liam told Maya she'd need to sign a prenup. At first, she was caught off guard. But then she thought, okay, he's just being cautious. He's worked hard for what he has. He was a successful entrepreneur after all, so she didn't argue. She smiled and said, sure, let's do it. What do I need to sign? That's when things got interesting. Liam had his lawyer draft the document, pages of legal jargon, but 2 clauses stood out like flashing red lights. The first said, if a child is born during the marriage and Liam cheats, Maya will receive all of his assets, every cent. The second, if Liam cheats and there is no child, and the marriage ends, Maya walks away with nothing. 0, no house, no money, no security. It was strange, but Maya didn't think too deeply about it. After all, they couldn't get pregnant anyway, and she trusted him. She signed her name on the dotted line thinking it was just paperwork. But that signature, it was the beginning of the end. Fast forward a few months. The newlyweds looked perfect from the outside, the picture of success. But inside the house, something felt off. Liam was distant, working late, taking business trips more often than usual. One Tuesday, Maya came home early. The house was quiet. She called out his name, no answer. Then as she walked up the stairs, she heard it. Laughter, a soft voice. Her heart started pounding. She pushed open the bedroom door, and there he was. Her husband, the man she loved for 7 years, tangled in sheets with another woman. Time stopped. The sound in her ears went silent. The air was heavy with betrayal. The woman gasped, clutching the blanket. Liam froze, guilt written all over his face. He started to speak. Maya, wait! But she was already gone. She didn't scream. She didn't throw things. She just walked out. Quietly, calmly. Sometimes silence hurts louder than words ever could. She drove aimlessly. No direction, no plan, just pain guiding her foot on the gas. Eventually, she ended up at a bar on the other side of town. Dim lights, old music, the kind of place where broken hearts go to hide. She drank until the hurt blurred into numbness, until the rage turned into exhaustion. And that night, she made a mistake. A one-night stand with a stranger whose name she never even learned. The next morning, she woke up ashamed and confused, but strangely free. She told herself it was nothing, a bad night, a moment of weakness. She went to stay with a friend and tried to rebuild her life, piece by piece. Then came the nausea, the fatigue, the missed period. When she finally took the test, her hands trembled. After 7 years of trying, of failure, of tears, Maya was pregnant. 9 months later, she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. Healthy, perfect, hers. When Liam saw the baby, he cried. Real tears. He said it was fate, a second chance, the miracle they'd been praying for. He signed the birth certificate without hesitation, smiling through tears. He told her he wanted to start fresh, to be a better man. But Maya knew something he didn't. That baby wasn't his, and she wasn't about to forget the night she walked in on him cheating. She waited, patient, calm, strategic. And then one afternoon, she slid an envelope across the kitchen table. Liam frowned, opening it slowly. His eyes scanned the paper, confusion twisting into disbelief. What is this? It's a paternity test, she said quietly. He's not yours. He went pale, completely still. Then she handed him another envelope. Divorce papers. Before he could even speak, she said, I'm taking everything. The house, the vacation home, your stocks, every cent. Liam stared at her, stunned, and then started laughing. You think you can take my money? You signed a prenup. You get nothing. Maya smiled, calm, confident. Her lawyer was brilliant. A woman who didn't just read the contract, she understood it. The wording was simple. If a child is born during the marriage, no mention of biological relation, no mention of adoption, a baby existed. And Liam cheated. Legally, Maya was entitled to everything. When the judge ruled in her favor, Liam's face was pure disbelief. His own clever little clause, the one meant to protect him, had become his downfall. The house, the vacation property, his savings, his stocks, all hers. He went from millionaire to nothing, overnight. Days later, he showed up at her door, tears in his eyes, begging, pleading. Maya, please, I made a mistake. I love you. We can start over. She looked at him, calm, unshaken. You want a second chance? She asked. Then get a fertility test, the same one I did all those years ago. Confused, he agreed. And when the results came back, it all made sense. Liam was infertile. He had been all along. All those years of blaming her. All those nights of disappointment. It was never her fault. It was his. And he had known. He stood in front of her one last time, test results shaking in his hands. His voice broke. I'm sorry, Maya. She looked at him, her baby in her arms. You made me believe I was broken, she said softly. But I wasn't. I was never the problem. And with that, she closed the door. Maya didn't just walk away with money. She walked away with freedom, truth, and peace. Liam's greed built the cage he ended up trapped in. And the woman he thought he could control, she became his greatest lesson. This is a true story of a woman who loved deeply. She gave her heart without conditions. She stood by the man she believed was her forever. But in the end, she was betrayed by the one person she trusted most. Maya didn't just take his money. She took back her peace, her dignity, her power. Because when someone betrays your love, it's easy to want revenge. It's easy to let bitterness take over. But Maya chose something far greater. She chose herself. She chose healing. She chose to rise above the pain that tried to destroy her. And maybe that's the real lesson here. That sometimes the greatest comeback isn't about what you gain, but what you refuse to lose. Because when someone betrays your love, the best revenge isn't anger, it's peace, it's growth, it's success. So tell me, what do you think? Did Maya go too far? Or did she simply give him what he deserved? Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more daily true life stories just like this one. And remember, every story has a lesson, and every ending can be a new beginning. All rights belong to the original author. This video is created for narration and entertainment purposes only.